Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Keefe, joined as always by Kevin McIntosh. Kevin, happy to be back with you on this Wednesday in Greater West Bloomfield.
What's going on, Tyler, man? Feels good to be here. Another day, another opportunity. I just feel so great today, man. I'm ready to talk to the community. Let's get to it.
Yeah, look, after a little bit of stormy activity earlier on in the week, the community is going to get very active, including this weekend in the city of Keego Harbor. Plenty going on, and we're just a couple days away from the biggest party in town. Here to tell us more is our very own Jake Schaff, live out in Keego Harbor. Jake.
Yes. Good morning, Tyler. Good morning, Kevin. It is absolutely going to be a big day very, very soon. I'm here right now live at Rose Sorter Park, where this Friday at 5:30, the second Keego Harbor Block Party of the summer is going to be taking place right here, featuring live music from Interstate 90s and local artists from Keego, the rest of Greater West Bloomfield, and all across our local area, courtesy of Art Sale. But, of course, we can't forget the best feature of the block parties, you, right there sitting at home. So as they say on The Price is Right, come on down. I'm sure the community of Keego Harbor would love to have you out here, and I'm sure you would have an amazing time.
Yeah, it is a really fun time out there. We know last month that was right around the time we were having some of June's biggest storm activity. During that time, it was a rainy day. People weren't sure if that was even going to happen because of the storm activity. We've got some pictures too, but you were out there. You were at the event last month to cover that on our side of things. Now, tell us how that was, just being out there in that environment with the people of Keego Harbor, despite all that was going on that day that could have kept them all home.
Absolutely. The rain, it certainly did play a factor at some points throughout the night. I mean, there were some scattered showers, but that didn't stop the fun. That didn't stop the excitement. Everyone here had a great time. There was live music right over there at the gazebo, courtesy of Slowfoot. They absolutely rocked the house. Great food and even better memories to be made. So it certainly didn't slow anything down here, but let's still hope that that weather does not interfere with the one taking place this Friday, Tyler.
Yeah, we'll take a quick look. I'll just take a quick gander at the weather report for Friday. It's looking like sun all the way through to next week, Wednesday. So good stuff in the forecast. Jake's happy. Our whole team is happy, and so will people in Keego Harbor for that. Jake, thank you for that report live from Rose Sorter Park in Keego Harbor.
Absolutely, Tyler. Thank you.
Going to be a very active weekend out there, Kevin. Again, Friday, July 19th, 5:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. That is the Keego Harbor Block Party. But the movement doesn't stop on Friday at Rose Sorter Park, does it?
That's correct. See, then this weekend continuing on, you can get moving Sunday morning as part of Keego Connect. Laurel Rivera from EM2M Fitness will be back leading a workout session in Rose Sorter Park behind Keego Harbor City Hall, 10:30 a.m. It's for everyone, by the way, not just her fitness class, but movement in general. It's a benefit to everyone's lifestyle, as she explained to us right here on the Splash Live.
I mean, your smile is brighter, your mental is brighter, your life is better. I feel that anything that we do, physical activity, whether it's walking with a buddy, whether it's riding a bike, or even if you're just walking to the local cafe or donut shop, that is a form of activity, and that is a way, and that's a key ingredient to a strong life and longevity.
Exactly, and leading the class for everyone is essentially what it was all about for Keego Harbor Parks and Rec Department, and Rivera has embraced that as she designed her classes also.
One of my primary goals is just to bring the community together and show them with little or no weight equipment, you can still move, you can start your day in a positive, bring that positive energy. I don't focus on whether or not you want to look a certain way. I focus on what can fitness do to help you balance your lifestyle. So if you're a busy mom, if you're a busy dad, we always are rushing our kids here and there. If you're someone that's retired, you need a community of some different people. Maybe you meet some new friends. And we find out through fitness and my style of fitness that we are all walking this life together, and fitness can bring us together. Some people say music brings people together, which is a true fact, but fitness can too.
Right.
We can join in and help each other stay healthy. So my brand, I tell all clients that when you come to me, I'm not the bully trainer. I'm the person that's going to help you figure out how you can take fitness, bring it into your life, maybe whether that's 30 minutes a day or an hour a day, and it can help you have balance.
And Laurel is a very experienced personal trainer, by the way, with expertise in training people with all different types of fitness journeys, and says that it is an important part of her approach and her training work, by the way.
Yeah, that's exactly what we just heard from her, Kevin, and that's what's so interesting about this particular class is that she's a trainer that can train the most experienced fitness connoisseur or someone just starting and make them all feel comfortable in that same class. That's what she described. That's what her goal is. And that's what we've heard also from the people that attended her first Movement in the Park event earlier on this summer. And hopefully we'll be back out in Rose Sorter Park this weekend. Again, all those events from Keego Connect can be found on Facebook at KH Parks, all being put on by the Parks and Recreation Committee in the city of Keego Harbor. And Kevin, that's not the end of all these events. It's not just this weekend. It's going to continue on in just a couple of weeks. Backed by popular demand, their Paint a Park Post event will be back up in the city of Keego Harbor. That's going to be in early August, just a couple of weeks away. It's hard to think about that. Sunday, August 4th at 12 noon. This time around, it's going to be in Hester Court Park. Bring your brushes, your paint, and some creative ideas to decorate those park posts. There's so many of them across these parks that there's plenty of space for people to show their creativity and leave their mark on the city of Keego Harbor. But seeing is believing, which is why we sent Peyton Skyver from our team out to see what Keego Harbor's creativity is all about in those parks. We sent her to the very first of these Paint a Park Post events at Tate Optimist Park to see Keego's decoration effort. Here's the story.
Keego Harbor residents are tapping into their creative side this afternoon as they gather to begin painting park posts to help brighten up Tate Optimist Park. Hosted by Keego Harbor Parks and Rec, this Keego Connect event is allowing people of all ages to come together for a creative and fun activity that will help the park be an even more beautiful place for the community to enjoy.
Yeah, so we're kicking off the Keego Connect. It was an idea that I had about activating our parks and connecting our community with our parks. And so we thought, hey, how do we beautify this park? It's sort of along the trail. And so we're excited that our community is coming out to paint the ballards or the posts in the park. I think it's just a fun way to gather, fun way to show that how we can better our community and bring a little color to the parks too.
So we're actually working on a program called Keego Connect, and we're working on doing all kinds of different activities in our parks and inviting community members to do that, such as the park improvement projects. We're also going to be doing yoga and reading, like summer reading, and lots of different events. I think it's really important for the community to come together and help improve the parks. Keego is a really small city, and so we do rely on volunteers a lot, so it really means a lot for everybody to come together and volunteer to help get our parks better looking. My family grew up on the street actually, and we visited this park all the time, so I think it's kind of fun that we get to help be part of improving it, a park and resource that we've been using for years, so that's pretty cool.
I'm really active in the city, and I know a lot of people on Parks and Rec, and I'm interested in beautifying our parks. my beach club that I belong to in Cunningham Park, and we painted rocks, and I still had the paint, and so I thought this will be a painting weekend for me, and I enjoy craft painting, and so the people in Parks and Rec work really hard, and I'm just one of the side volunteers that wants to help out. We're just blessed with a lot of parks here in Keego, and it's time to start showing them some love.
I love giving back. I have a servant's heart, and so I just love that I can help plan and bring people together to do something for our community.
After a day filled with art, creativity, and community bonding, Tate Optimist Park has definitely been brightened up. Be on the lookout for more of these Keego Connect events by checking out the So Keego Facebook page. With Civic Center TV, I'm Peyton Skyver.
Yeah, so Keego, a great resource to go to for things happening across the heart of the lakes. Also, the Keego Harbor Parks and Recreation Facebook page is also a great resource at KH Parks on Facebook, where you'll find a listing of all their events coming up, whether it is their block party happening on Friday, their Paint a Park Post event happening in August, or even Laurel from EM2M Fitness's Movement in the Park event that will be happening on Sunday morning. They also have some youth disc golf training opportunities happening this weekend, also on their brand new disc golf course out there, Driftwood Creek. Disc golf is also going to be leading that this weekend. So there's so much going on in the city of Keego Harbor, ways you can support and ways that the community is being supported as well. Not only does this stuff provide fun to the community, Kevin, it provides them something to attract people to the community, whether it's residents or people that want to move in, move their businesses in, and start something new in Keego Harbor. Not only do they have that incentive, Kevin, but they also have some resources available to them if they want to start maybe that new business in the city of Keego Harbor.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Tyler. Essentially, yeah, there are different organizations available, local organizations that help new, growing, and existing businesses, specifically right here in our greater West Bloomfield area. Joining us right here on The Splash to talk a lot more about the resources available is District Director for the Michigan District Office of the Small Business Administration, the local Small Business Administration. We have Lakita Henderson joining us right here. And just starting off, getting straight into it, can you begin by giving us an overview of some of the support systems in place from the SBA to help our small businesses right here in the greater West Bloomfield area, please?
Well, I'll let you know that the U.S. Small Business Administration Michigan District Office supports all 83 counties in the state of Michigan. And, and speaking of in Oakland County, West Bloomfield, we're here to support all small businesses. And just to give you an understanding of how our supports, we gave over $1 billion in loans to small businesses throughout the state of Michigan. We granted $1.8 billion in government contracting to small businesses. So we're here to support in terms to help you start, grow, and recover. So if you're thinking about starting a small business, we can help you with that. Conceptualize the idea. Where do you want that small business to be? We can help you with the research of where should it be? Is it the right business? Should it be here? Where should the building be? To help you even figure out, is it the right business? And then once you've identified that, we can help you look into, do you have the finances for it? Or what are the steps you need to take to start that business? And then we can help you grow it and make it a successful business. And so on and so forth, because we want you to be a successful business within your community, in the West Bloomfield community, because we, small businesses, are the community. They're the lifeblood of the community.
Correct. And I would agree with that too, especially with our community, West Bloomfield, a lot of small businesses in our area that thrive and provide a lot of jobs. Are there any specific or popular loan or grant programs that the SBA are currently hosting right now for small businesses?
In terms of, I would say our most popular loans are our microlenders, because many times people think about getting loans, they think about the big dollar loans. We have microlenders who are mission-based lenders, and that average loan is $13,000. So when people think about getting loans, it doesn't have to be Our lenders aren't. They only don't loan to you need $1 million, you need 100,000. They loan $13,000. They can loan 5,000, 10,000. Just that seed money to get you started.
Right.
And typically, SBA doesn't give grants. We give grants to organizations who provide the technical assistance, the counseling to those small businesses who need that assistance to do business plans,
Right.
to do those things that are needed to get in front of lenders or who need that training.
Right. And joining us right here on the Splash Live, District Director for the Michigan District Office of the Small Business Administration, Lakita Henderson, just talking about the different grants, loans, and programs and resources available through the SBA. Now, specifically here in West Bloomfield, we have small business owners from the large brick and mortars in downtown to people just starting in their basement. And I know you say you have different levels, different programs. Can we just talk about at the lowest level, as of right now, the beginning stage? What type of programs, resources do you have available specifically for people in West Bloomfield at that stage of their business, just starting off with the idea?
Just starting off with the idea, we have what we call resource partners. We have SCORE, Small Business Development Centers, and Women's Business Centers. If you're thinking about starting a business, you don't even have a business plan. Let's just say you don't even have a business plan. You just have an idea.
Okay.
And you want to get started. Call the Small Business Administration, because I want to get you in front of either SCORE or the Small Business Center, because we want to get you to get ready with a business plan. If you have a business plan, I want them to look at your business plan. Make sure it's a good business plan. And if not, they can help you get that business plan together. So this is a plan you can put in front of a possible lender, someone who can help get you that seed money to get that brick and mortar. To help start your business, because it all starts with your business plan. But also I want them to look at your idea and say to you, is this a good idea? And let's do a little research, because research is the key. Research is the key. Is this a good plan? And they're going to be honest with you and say, let's think this through. Let's talk about this, because you want somebody that's going to be honest with you. And who's going to tell.
And we have a lot of successful businesses currently under our Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce also. For our successful, already thriving businesses, Lakita, who are looking to continuously grow and or expand, what type of resources, programs do you have available for them?
And it's perfect, because sometimes our businesses who've been already out there, they're looking going, well, what about us? All I hear about is startups. We have growth teams. We have teams that can talk to those who've already been in business, who are looking to scale, or who are looking to just maintain but run their businesses more efficiently. We have what's called a growth team who can help. Let's look at how you're doing, but let's look at how we can do it more efficiently. Or if you're looking to grow, let's look at how we can help you grow smart. And do you want to get another location? Or are you looking to go to another state? We have a growth team. So I would say, let's get you to the Small Business Development Center and let's see how we can help you grow. So you know what, I would love to come to West Bloomfield and work with the chamber, and let's do that. Let's connect so we can get with those business owners. Let's get with the entrepreneurs, and let's get with those mid-level businesses who've been there and who've been doing it, who are just trying to figure out, okay, where do I go from here?
Right. And I want to ask you something else. I kind of just I just thought of something else from that. But just join us right here on the Splash Live, District Director for the Michigan District Office of the Small Business Administration, Lakita Henderson. Now, let's look on the other side of the business, right? The side that supports the business. How does all of the support, the resources that we get from SBA to support the businesses kind of also affects the customer side of the businesses from your perspective?
Okay. Say that again. How does...
So with the businesses receiving the help and support, and they're growing, and no matter what stage of the business that they're in, they're growing with their resources and support. Can you speak to any level of feedback or that they've received from customers, or the growth that they've seen from customers based on your resources?
Well, I mean, if you're growing and customer satisfaction is going to be seen as well, because you're going to be driving in more customers as you grow. I mean, your growth, because the satisfaction, the growth, and I'm trying to put that together. Let me see. As you, customer satisfaction will, because one thing about it is, as you're growing, customer satisfaction will actually be a part of that, because you have to understand your customer as you're growing,
Right.
because you have to be understanding your customer to grow. Because in order to grow, you have to be understanding your customer, because you can't grow without your customer.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're getting that feedback from your customer is the reason you're growing. You see what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
As you're growing, your customer is telling you, this is what I like,
Correct.
this is what I need. And therefore, as you continue to grow, you continually do what your customer likes.
There you go.
So as you're growing, you continue to grow and do what your customer likes, and that should drive in more customers. And your customer will continue to come, and the feedback that the customers will tell to other customers will help you to continue to grow.
There you go.
So customer satisfaction is so important.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important. And people who ignore their customers tend not to grow and tend not to stay in business long.
Yeah.
So definitely that's so important. And they'll learn that from the SBDC, because you have to understand your customer to continue to grow. That's so important.
Right.
And I apologize for
No.
being slow on that.
I kind of worded it a little weird. Just voices in my head. I'm kind of, my mind is kind of scrambled. But essentially, you answered the question, the effects that the resources have on businesses and how that ultimately affects the community and the customers, the people. So yes, I completely understand. Since we are talking about the Small Business Administration, which is a federal organization that helps, but we're focusing right here in our small West Bloomfield area. Can you just talk about why small businesses in general are important to the federal government?
Small businesses are important to the federal government because it is and actually, the Small Business Administration is actually celebrating the 71st anniversary at the end of this month on the 30th. Nice. And it was created to level the playing field.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think most people realize that small businesses employ over 60% of those employed in the United States. And I think people underestimate, because when you think about employment, you think about all the Googles, the General Motors, but it is small businesses that employ. So it's so important, because they provide a large portion of the GDP in the United States. So if small businesses fail, our economy as a whole fails. So it's so important that we support them, because it is our communities that thrive on small businesses. Most of our communities employ small business,
correct,
small business employees.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why small businesses are so important, because if you drive around the communities, what do you see? You see small businesses.
Yeah.
You see cafes. You see bookstores.
Yeah.
You see everything.
Family-owned businesses, correct.
Family-owned businesses. That is what our communities thrive on. And I think most of us take that for granted.
Mm-hmm.
That if all of those close today, we just have a bunch of empty shells, and we don't realize that small businesses, and we keep hearing it, and we think it's a cliche, but they are the backbone of society.
No.
And that's why it is incumbent upon us to do all that we can to make sure they survive. Mm-hmm. And I don't think most people realize, though, it is our tax dollars that help support these programs. So if you're a small business owner or an entrepreneur thinking about it, keep in mind that these services that we offer, they're free. Yeah. You don't have to pay for this counseling, or when you go to see an SBDC, or when you go see a sport, they're free because the tax dollars have already paid for this. So you don't have to worry about writing a check or coming to pay to see these services, or coming to pay to see us. They've already been paid for. You've already paid for these services through your tax dollar. So I see myself as a fiduciary for you, for all of us who pay these services, to mind your tax dollars well, to make sure that everyone gets these services.
Good point.
And I feel pressure to make sure we're doing all we can. So yes, it's our job to make sure everyone who wants to be an entrepreneur and everyone who is an entrepreneur gets the services that they deserve. And that's why we're working hard to help those underrepresented.
Right, no,
Get the-
100%, and that help is absolutely needed for the underrepresented too. Great point. And we got to wrap up, Lakita, but real quick, if you just give people where they can get more information in regards to SBA locally and helping out their West Bloomfield businesses, please.
Sure. If you can just email it, Michigan at sba.gov, it goes to an email. It'll take you through some cues, but stay on, and it goes through an email, and we will get right back with you. And you can also email me at any time, Lakita.Henderson, Lakita, Laketa, Henderson at sba.gov. I will definitely get back with you as well. And thank you again for having me on here. This was great.
No, thank you so much for your information and your resources. Once again, District Director for the Michigan District Office of the Small Business Administration, Lakita Henderson. Thank you again for your time and your information.
All right. Have a great day.
Great interview, great information given right there. Small Business Administration has a lot of resources specifically for small businesses, and right here in our greater West Bloomfield area, we love to give out that information, and we love to give out resources that help our businesses grow. SBA.gov for more information. Tyler, great talk with Lakita Henderson, by the way.
Yeah, excellent insight for new business owners or for established business owners in our community to tap into those resources, not just from our local chamber or local chambers, but from federal resources as well. And all this different advice can be really important, as is growing relationships both here in our community and far from it, which is something actually that's being done even by our local library.
No, exactly, Tyler. Found out a very interesting relationship that the West Bloomfield Township Public Library has with a sister library. I want to pick some brains of that. That's why right here with us on the Splash Live, we have Patricia Ballard, Tween Services Coordinator for West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Thank you so much for joining us, Patricia. The sister library relationship that you have with the Higashiora Library in Japan. Please just talk about how this relationship started and the history of it.
So it is actually, that library is located in Awaji City, and that is on a small island. I think it's like maybe 90 kilometers, or maybe it's miles. I'm not sure. So it's a small island off of the mainland of Japan. And we started this project. We were one of 51 libraries nationally chosen in 1999 by a White House initiative. It was like a millennial project right before, the year 2000. And at the time, Japanese nationals were, West Bloomfield had the third largest population of Japanese nationals in the state of Michigan. And we continue to see a lot of Japanese nationals that come to this area. So that was why that library was chosen for us. And since then, that's from 1999 till now, it's been 25 years. And we have had numerous cultural exchanges. They've had every 2 years, they have a delegation of 10 students and 2 chaperones that come and tour the area. And it's been since 1998, because when they were supposed to come in 2000, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a pandemic. And then also and also in 2022, things were still a little iffy. And so this is the first delegation to come here since 1998. And they consist of kids from the ages of 13 to 17. So it's very exciting. Yeah. And
so like the high school age.
Yeah, and some middle school too. Yeah, so some tweens and teens, and 2 adult chaperones. Right. So since then,
interesting.
We do gift exchanges, cultural exchanges. We've had adult delegations come here, even people from who are library science students who are studying to be librarians from Osaka University have come in the past. We do, this past year, we did 2 Zoom calls with 5th and 6th graders in a Japanese classroom. And because of the major time difference, at some points,
Right.
we're 14 hours behind them, and at some points, 13. So our teen librarian was kind enough to go to the local middle school, West Bloomfield Middle School, and ask them questions about what they would like to know about Japan. And so those are the questions that are always the best. When adults ask questions, we're like, what do you study? And but, they ask,
Correct.
do you eat pizza? Do you eat hamburger? What do you think of this? And yeah.
Right. So I have a quick question, just in general. Join us right here on the Splash Live, Patricia Ballard, Tween Services Coordinator for the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, talking about their sister relationship with the library in Awaji, Japan. So, what's the most memorable in 25 years? What's the most memorable exchange or moment that you've had with your sister library?
Well, during the pandemic, as I said, they were unable to visit. We were unable to send a delegation. And so they actually, I should have brought it with me, but they actually brought a cutout figure, and it was called La Book. And we brought it all around. We showed it like the Motown Museum. We showed them the view of Detroit from the Windsor side. We showed them, we toured them all around the library, and we took photos and videos, and we made a big slideshow and sent that. Because, during the pandemic, we were all shut down, of course. And,
Right.
it was a very wonderful idea by our Awaji delegates to come up with that. And it gave us the opportunity to really appreciate what we have here, all the wonderful nooks and crannies of this library and of this community and the greater area too.
Nice. Okay, Patricia, I don't want to hold you up too much longer. I do have another question though. There's a celebration, excuse me if I pronounce this wrong, the upcoming Matsuri Day celebration, August 10th. Can you tell us a little bit more about this and what we can expect, please?
So Matsuri is basically celebration. So it's a celebration. It's a festival, actually. And so it's going to be on Saturday, August 10th. It starts at 12 noon and goes to 4 p.m. We're going to have 3 different types of performances. We're going to have a group come in at noon who are going to be performing a traditional Japanese dance with taiko drums and different traditional Japanese instruments. At 2, we're going to have a Japanese tea ceremony. And one of the things is that the people from the Japanese tea ceremony are actually from the Japan Business Society of Detroit, who also gave us a grant to help fund this program. And they have a women's organization, and they are going to come in and do a traditional tea ceremony, which tea ceremonies are kind of like very, very set things, and you get degrees and levels, almost like you do with like a martial art like karate. So you have to be trained on how to do it properly. And then at 3, we're going to have someone come in and demonstrate Japanese calligraphy, and then people will have an opportunity to also try that. And then in the other room, in the youth department, we're going to have Japanese games, Japanese crafts, Japanese treats. So, if you're not into presentation, you can go into the other room, and that will be going on from 1 to 3. The whole thing goes from 12 to 4. But we are so excited. We have so many fun crafts and something for all ages. So
I'm so excited, Patricia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it's a lot going on, and I love that we're in. And I love that we're inviting different cultures and celebrating them and kind of taking a deep dive and looking to them, especially with the sister library relationship that we have in Awaji City in Japan. So beautiful. Thank you so much again for your time, Patricia. We appreciate you so much for explaining that. Once again, Patricia Ballard, West Bloomfield Township Public Library Tween Services Coordinator. We appreciate your time and information.
Thank you so much for having us on here. And I hope you guys are all able to come Saturday, August 10th from 12 to 4.
Let's make an effort to be out there. Thank you again, Patricia. Beautiful, beautiful celebration of Japanese culture right here in West Bloomfield. And she gave us some great information, interesting information about Japanese nationalists being like a growing population right here in West Bloomfield, Tyler. So you can find out more information on their Facebook, West Bloom LIB, to check out some of the pictures also, Tyler.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event out there, and it's such a cool story. They're going to be posting more pictures and some throwbacks all throughout the month of July and early August, leading up to that celebration of this really unique relationship they've had for a quarter of a century with a library across the world from us here in Greater West Bloomfield. Really cool story from our friends right next door at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. So much more to get you interesting conversations and important information affecting you each and every day. Coming up next, right here on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Find local municipal meetings at our program schedule on civiccentertv.com. Find when your meetings air live or when they're replaying on our Civic Center TV live stream. Find it all at civiccentertv.com and click schedule at the top of the screen.
Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Good nutrition can help make sure you have enough iron, calcium, and vitamin C in your body, which can make it harder for lead to enter your bloodstream. Help protect your family from the harmful effects of lead.
Hi, my name's Megan Tahako. I'm the Marketing and Communications Manager for West Bloomfield Parks. Congratulations to Civic Center TV for reaching 1 million views on YouTube. We appreciate all you do in this community to help share our stories. Megan Tahako, proud to be 1 in a million.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm Tyler Kieft, joined as always by Kevin McIntosh and the whole team. It is a time of transition here in the Greater West Bloomfield area for those sending their kids for some early childhood programs over at Temple Israel. For the better part of over a decade, Lois Garenrich has been teaching children in their early childhood program and is now retiring after a stellar career in education. Joining us now on the Splash Live is Lois herself. Lois, thank you for being on the program. Glad to have you on to talk about your career at the Susan and Rabbi Harold Loss Early Childhood Center at Temple Israel. You've been there for well over a decade teaching the kids. Start off, tell us just some of your most memorable moments or experiences in being an educator for these kids so early on in their educational career.
Well, first of all, I have to tell you that Temple Israel has fabulous clergy on down, and our early childhood center has wonderful director and assistant director that I work under. So this is really a team effort. It's not just me. But some of my most memorable times are realizing that 2-year-olds are educable, they're teachable, they're smart. They come in as babies and they leave as little human beings that know so much. One of the things that helps us as we begin a new year is that we do home visits. We go to each child's home and we visit with the family and warm up to the child. And sometimes it takes an hour or more. And we play with them, and then we do a project. And so that when they come to school, they understand that what I look like, what I sound like, what I smell like, and I'm not the total stranger. The other thing is we partner with our parents very much so, and encouraging them to talk about it, to be excited about it, and so that the child comes in with a different comfort level. And that is an outstanding program that we do. Another thing is we focus on tzedakah, which is charity. These children are very privileged, most of them. And we have them do chores at home so that they can earn money. They can't just receive the money from parents or grandparents, but they have to earn it. They do chores like picking up their toys or taking their plate to the table. Or one child in my class this year did vacuuming. He was fascinated by the vacuum, so he did vacuuming. And they earn money from their parents and grandparents that way. And I'm proud to say that these little children, and I had 11 of them this year, presented the temple with $375, just like coins building up. It was just amazing. And they came to realize through our social worker and through our different programming that there were children that didn't have toys, that didn't have adequate shoes or clothes. And it's amazing how they understand. And it's amazing how important that becomes every Shabbat, which is on Friday. Also, I find every year I'm gratified when they barely speak English. I mean, they've been on this earth 24, 26 months, and they're able to learn Hebrew and our prayers and our customs. And because we're a temple, our curriculum, we follow Michigan standard curriculum, but we also are guided by our holidays as well as our seasons. So little children learn about the seasons. They learn about each Jewish holiday. So a lot of our projects and the information that we impart to children are centered around that. We also, I was very lucky. I had specials, which include music, library, gym, and science. And these little children learned about the human body. They learned how food travels, how their blood travels. It was amazing.
And all of this
It
at
was
such a
really
young
amazing.
age, too. Like, they're doing this at 2 years old. So, I mean, they're learning so much from you, clearly, Lois, and they have over these years that you've been with the program there at Temple Israel. But what have you learned from the kids during that time?
Goodness. To never say anything you don't want repeated, number one. That goes for parents and teachers.
Good lesson.
I've learned to teach them not to use bad words, which sometimes come out. But it's every day is a highlight because every day is different. And the children feel differently. They make friends. The highlight to me also is seeing them hug their friends that they never knew before. Or if they did, they knew them just at the park. So it's exciting that they blend together as a group. And it takes a team to do that, not just me. I have a wonderful, wonderful assistant that has been with me for 11 years, and we are interchangeable. We are a team. I think I've learned a lot about, it might not be a highlight, but I've learned a lot about handling children that might have some problems, some issues. And there's nothing usually that we can't solve. And if we do come across something to solve, I'm very, very grateful that we have a specialist on board who comes in, she observes whenever I call, and she gives us different strategies to use. And then she graphs it to see if the child's moving upward or downward. And it's been an outstanding help to me personally and to our children as well. You know, little children, we often think they're babies, and they are babies, but they're capable of just so much. When they come in and they say, sit down with us, play with us, read us a story, it's so exciting. I mean, unless you've been in early childhood, you really don't understand. And I didn't start in early childhood. They didn't even have that when I went to college. So I've learned it over the years, and we are required, and it's also very gratifying to me to take courses. We usually take 24 hours a year of courses to improve our communication, our teaching skills. And even though we might know it, it refreshes us. And it's just been the most gratifying job I've ever had.
Well, Lois, we are glad to have had you on to celebrate your illustrious career at Temple Israel, to take a look back at what the kids have certainly learned from you, what you've learned from them, and what we can continue to learn from our young people of all different ages. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate it. You can learn even more about Lois on the Facebook page of Temple Israel. They had a full post about her career just a few days ago. Facebook.com/Temple Israel MI. And one thing you'll learn on there is a call and response that she and her students have had over the years. What are we in room 18? They will always respond with a resounding kind. That is the simple answer there. Close to home here in West Bloomfield, there's an ongoing change that's had a big impact across all 4 of our communities. The transition from GFL Environmental Waste Hauling Services over to Priority Waste, and so far it has been a bumpy ride to start that transition. And now some action being considered by West Bloomfield Township earlier on this week at their township board meeting to possibly tap into what's called a performance bond because of the last several weeks in fact, of their relationship with GFL Environmental. That was described to us at that township board meeting by Township Attorney Alana Knox. Let's take a look at what she had to say.
The board has expressed an interest in drawing on the performance bond from GFL. Our office has reviewed the contract that we have in place with GFL, as well as the performance bond that we have in place, and we have analyzed the issue and believe that the township can draw on this bond. So to kind of break it down, a performance bond is a sum of money, usually backed by always backed by an insurance company that a company puts up as like an assurance that it will fulfill its contractual obligations. This sum of money can be quote unquote drawn upon when there is a breach of the contract, which means that the contractor, in this case GFL, is not fulfilling their obligations.
That from the West Bloomfield Township Attorney Alana Knox. She spoke on that issue at their township board meeting on Monday night as the township considers taking potential legal action within their contract against GFL Environmental. Joining us for more context on that and to elaborate is West Bloomfield Township Supervisor Steve Kaplan. Supervisor, thank you for being with us. To start off, can you elaborate on some of the specific issues that have the township board considering tapping into this performance bond from their contract with GFL Environmental?
Well, good morning, Tyler, to you and your staff and to all of our many residents watching this taping or watching it live. As you know, Tyler, the township board 6-0 vote unanimously agreed to seek a forfeiture of the performance bond. Now, performance bond in the waste hauling business generally is designed for where a company stops functioning. So, for example, let's take 2 years ago when GFL was performing very well, and let's say they were bankrupt, they had no money, they didn't have staff, and they just cut us off. So clearly it would take a month for a township to replace a company that is defaulting. The performance bond in that instance would enable the township or a township to hire another company part-time until the matter would be resolved. Here we're using it in an effort to reimburse residents who receive shoddy, abysmal waste hauling service for 4 consecutive weeks, all through June, Tyler.
And this was something that was considered and was deliberated on at the meeting on Monday night. That full meeting broadcast is available on demand on civiccentertv.com if you're at home wanting to watch this, or if you're listening and want to get more context on this later on. And something that did come up was ultimately what would be the outcome the township is seeking from tapping into this performance bond. Is it reimbursing customers for shoddy performances, frankly, over the last several weeks of that contract, or what would ultimately be the outcome your board is seeking?
But you raise an interesting issue. Let's assume, for sake of discussion, that everything is picturesque, that we seek to forfeit the bond, we gain $400,000, $500,000. That would be enough money to give every resident, bestow upon every resident $20, a $20 rebate, so to speak. But probably won't be easy because they'll contest it. They'll probably hire a lawyer, will litigate in circuit court. But even so, we, the board, feel that we owe it to the public to try to gain reparations for them. And the reason I mentioned $20, Tyler, is average, it's $5 per week for garbage service, and GFL provided no service essentially for all of June. So that would be 4 weeks times $5, $20. Now, the good news is if we prevail, or if there's a settlement, or if there's no challenge by GFL, I have spoken to leadership at Priority Waste, and Priority Waste has agreed that if we have a sum of money, they would apply credit to their customers, formerly GFL customers. But I just want you to know, Tyler, that in the event that Priority Waste is not willing to help us in that regard, this is a monumental undertaking. If we had money sending envelopes or letters to 20,000 residents, but we're going to do what it takes because our residents are angry with I don't think they're angry with Town Hall. We're doing the best we can. And we have company, as you know, 59 townships in the Tri-County area are in the same position as us. Doesn't make anybody feel better. I mean, if somebody is suffering from cancer, it doesn't make him feel better that his neighbor has cancer. But we are not alone. But we're working as diligently as we can. In fact, we have 3 full-time, high-level employees who, for the past 6 weeks, have spent most of their day answering phone calls from residents. Why are we answering phone calls from residents about garbage issues? That is because neither company, GFL or Priority for Life, has not been answering the phone. They have been answering the phone, or if they do, there's a 1-hour wait. So at least the residents can call here. We have 3 people dedicated to answering the phones and answering their questions.
And that brings up some ongoing issues that have been in the news about Priority Waste as they're taking over these contracts. You mentioned the Tri-County area, but they've taken over contracts, according to the Detroit Free Press, for over 700,000 customers across Oakland, Washtenaw, Livingston, Macomb, Genesee, and Wayne counties since taking over for GFL Environmental on July 1st. Matt Allen from Priority Waste was on our program just days ago to talk about some of the issues they've had, particularly as they install not only all this new technology, but bring in a bunch of new employees. Here's what he had to say about some of those issues in the transition.
About 600 employees that were working for the previous provider came over to us. They're learning our culture on the fly. So this is like repairing a wing on an airplane as you're flying. So they're learning the Priority way, and Priority is implementing our best practices into these communities as quickly as possible. The real key here is our computer systems and our AI. That actually has to be installed on these trucks that we just bought. So there is a learning curve there for the new employees and for us integrating it into the community.
And so at this time, with those issues being in place, there obviously are some logistical issues, there's some technology issues as they try to integrate older vehicles from a prior owner into their technology and into their infrastructure. So at this time, based on your communications with Priority Waste, when should residents be able to expect service to go from where it's at right now to where they were expecting it to be when Priority Waste took over July 1st?
Excellent question. As you know, Priority took over on July 1. The first week, they did poorly. One reason is that July 4th was not a date where they operated because of 4th of July, and there was confusion as to when the Thursday customers would receive service. Of course, it was that Friday. So the first week, I would give them a D-. The second week, which is July 8th through the 12th, July 8th through the 11th, they improved, so I'd give them a C. This week, July 15th through July 18th, they've done very well. And most of the garbage, the past garbage. So think about this, when a waste hauling truck and employees arrive at the scene, they don't care about the date of the waste hauling. Has it been there 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks? There were many areas, especially for Tuesday and Thursday pickups, where there had been no service. So garbage had been resting by the curb. It's just totally unacceptable. So this week, the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have been excellent. In fact, we only received one call yesterday about missed garbage. So back to your specific question, I think by July 29, the 5th week that they'll be in operation, you're going to see excellent service.
And that was kind of within their estimations early on of when you'll start to see their new technologies, their new culture, so to speak, as Matt Allen from their team mentioned to us multiple times in his interview on CivicCenterTV.com, could see that implemented. In the meantime, Steve, got 30 seconds left with you. If residents do have issues, what's the best way for them to go about resolving that? Should they go to priority specifically or go through the township?
At least for the next 2 weeks, please have the residents call the supervisor's office at 451-4845. As I said, we have 3 people answering the phones. We're more than happy to help them. The township board and our staff, we care. We care about our residents. We want our residents to enjoy living in West Bloomfield without having concerns each morning or each week whether their garbage will be picked up.
Well, we appreciate your time, Steve, and your insight on this issue. It's an issue that's of great importance to residents in West Bloomfield, but also to our other 3 communities here in greater West Bloomfield. And all of this applies from one community to the other. Those communication systems are very much in place to help resolve this issue, and hopefully we'll see better news ahead for this major transition in our community. Another major transition, so to speak, a big change at West Bloomfield High School. Some new technology being put in there as well that will make your experience on those Friday night lights at Lakers Stadium and all throughout the year at their various sports out on the football field even better than ever before. Joining us for an inside look, our very own Dave Scott, live from the swamp himself. Dave.
Thank you very much, Tyler. We're right here at the press box, and boy, we have exciting news for you today. Joining me is the athletic director of West Bloomfield High School, Eric Pierce. Eric, how are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So if we step out of the way, you can see something very amazing. It is a brand new scoreboard. It's huge. I know with my little camera that we have here today, you probably can't tell, but this is the 3rd largest video scoreboard in the state for high school teams. Eric, step on over here. Let's just chat for a minute. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we love our new toys here at West Bloomfield High School, and we're very fortunate to be able to add to the game day experience, and that's always what we want. There's wonderful atmospheres here that take place on Friday night or for our other sports teams, whatever night they're playing, and something like this new video scoreboard is going to allow us to do a lot of things that we weren't able to do before. You know, we can get the crowd involved in a number of different ways. We can have live things going on during the game. We can show replays. It'll give us access to a number of different things, and we're just kind of, scratching the surface on what we can do.
Well, we're really excited about it. We're going to get involved with helping you out, if that's okay, with helping to produce some content for that board.
No, we love it, and we always love working with Civic Center TV. We always love all the help that we get and all the support that we get.
So when I came out to take a look at it, I just got to tell you, Tyler, it was a lot bigger than I really thought it was going to be. It's kind of like, and I'm not saying it's as big as the screens at U of M, but when they upgraded their screens, it made a dramatic impact. And now here in West Bloomfield, they have the kind of thing that you would only see on the collegiate level or the professional level. It's going to be a really big game changer.
Oh, for sure. And we always talk about Laker Nation. We always talk about facilities and what we can provide for people and the best possible game day experience. And this definitely adds to it. There's no doubt about it.
All right, so new scoreboard. It'll be really exciting. I imagine it will create some pregame, postgame activities, a lot of fun for the fans. And are you going to get Tyler's picture up on there, Robert?
Absolutely, as soon as we can, for sure.
All right, Tyler, a promise to you right from the athletic director that you'll be front and center. So from the press box here at West Bloomfield High School. A lot more work to do. Dave Scott, throwing it back to you, Tyler.
Thank you, Dave. Although I do have I do question the decision to put my face on that board. It is visible from Orchard Lake Road. That's a major thoroughfare. You're gonna have to choose a proper time of day. Don't want to startle all the drivers out there. That's our show for this Wednesday here in Greater West Bloomfield, live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thanks to our entire team out in the field, Dave Scott and Jake Schaff, alongside Kevin McIntosh with me in the studio. And of course, those working at Master Control, Peyton Skyver and Calvin Brown. For our entire team, thanks for watching the Splash Live.